Coming up on this edition of Shelby This Week, the Shelby Township Fire Department was called to assist in a trench rescue effort in Sterling Heights. The Shelby Township Police Department is joining a social media initiative to ensure residents are staying safe. We will tell you how you can become involved. And the National Weather Service hosted a training to help people become storm spotters. We have all this and much more coming up on Shelby This Week. Welcome to another edition of Shelby This Week. I'm Courtney Bennett.
And I'm Kelly Kasuda. A construction worker has died after a trench collapsed. 39-year-old Jason Holmes of Sterling Heights was shutting off the sewer line underground when the trench caved, and he was buried with dirt and clay. The Shelby Township Fire Department's technical rescue team was called out to the scene to assist in what started off as a rescue and later moved into a recovery. 2 weeks ago, we took you to one of the fire department's confined space trainings, and their skills learned on that day were found useful in the rescue mission.
A lot of our disciplines intertwine. We have 4 different disciplines, one being confined space. We also have high angle, which deals with a lot of the same things, dealing with a lot of ropes. Trench rescue, a lot of the same thing. We used a lot of our high angle rope systems there, and then we also have building collapse. So a lot of them intertwined together, and part of the things that we did in confined space were also used in trench rescue as far as rope systems go.
Rose explained the trench was about 9 feet deep and there was about 2 feet of dirt on top of the body. He believes the trench was not dug properly, and from what he saw, a trench box used to keep the walls stabilized was not used by the construction worker. Several other departments in the area were called to the scene. The Shelby Township Fire Department prepared all throughout the year in case of a situation similar to this one does in fact occur.
We do repetitive training throughout the year. So we had a trench training the late September last year. Very similar exact situation that was. We repeat that training. We've got another trench training coming up in a couple months. So we keep repeating it, changing some of the hazards that are involved in the trench, and then we'll try and test our guys to make sure that they know what they can do in different situations, because every trench is a little bit different. The soil is sandy in one spot, clay in another, so it makes it a lot more difficult for us to adapt, but that's why we keep training year after year after year.
Employees here in Shelby Township participated in an interactive presentation with the police department. We got a look at this training created to keep employees safe during an active shooter situation.
Everybody, get out, get out, get out.
Given the recent events with school and workplace shootings across the United States, employees here in Shelby Township were trained to face this issue head-on. With the help of the Shelby Township Police Department, this training brought a hands-on approach to the municipal building.
Hopefully, if there's ever something that happens in their workplace, they know how to respond to it. We've been having a lot of active shooter incidents in this country in 2018. We brought the training to our township employees. So if we have a situation in our township offices, they know how to respond while in their own workplaces.
While every situation is different, the department taught the employees various techniques.
Well, different scenarios for different situations. Some situations where the shooter's not near where they're at, they'll leave the building or leave the area. Situations where they're stuck inside a room, shooter comes in, we teach the swarm and counter technique. So that's why we use different techniques.
There's no location that is immune to an active shooter situation, but having a plan and preparing for these instances can save lives. For Shelby This Week, I'm Courtney Bennett.
The Shelby Township Police Department is participating in a nationwide initiative using the power of social media. Our Stacy Sansatera has more.
People are leaving things in cars that you wouldn't believe, iPads laying on the front seat, computers, cash, valuables, bowling balls, whatever it may be.
And because of this, the Shelby Township Police Department want you to get into the 9 p.m. routine. At 9 p.m. each night, the department will use the power of social media to remind you to retrieve valuables from your car if left outside. In addition, the 9 p.m. routine will remind residents to lock up their cars and home for the night.
These car thieves move around. So you have two different groups of car thieves. You have the professional thieves that will hit any community at all, and they move around strategically. And then you have the little local area punks, and everybody has to deal with that. You know, kids will even go rob from their own subdivision walking around. So what we've been experiencing lately is the little local area punks.
What started as a local effort with the Pasco County Sheriff's Office in Florida has become a national movement with the goal of cutting down on crimes of opportunity.
A lot of them aren't even breaking into cars, they're just opening the doors and taking stuff out.
The Shelby Township Police Department wants you to remember to set a hashtag 9 p.m. routine to combat theft. And social media is an excellent tool to law enforcement and crime prevention.
But bottom line is, this is just like a little reminder to our community to stay safe and keep your stuff locked away.
For Shelby This Week, I'm Stacy Sansatera.
There is no doubt dangerous weather can strike at any moment. With spring and summer right around the corner, the risk of storms hitting our area becomes more likely. Macomb County partnered with the National Weather Service to train individuals to be ranked among citizens across the United States as storm spotters.
Tornadoes and thunderstorms are very dangerous. The National Weather Service Skywarn trained volunteers to keep our community safe from severe weather.
We do about 30 to 40 presentations a season, every spring season, and train about roughly 2,500 people.
Dave Cook is the meteorologist for Skywarn and enjoys teaching residents on how to become storm spotters.
One, it helps us meet our mission goals of teaching people about weather safety.
When storm spotters report tornadoes, hail, anything, it's important to remember what, when, where did you see damage or hazard.
So if they're prepared and they know where to look for information when storms are going to hit, people aren't reacting to weather, they're prepared for it to happen.
I'm Robert Gambrell, Shelby This Week.
While this course was only offered one time here in Macomb County, there are plenty of other offerings all across the state. To find out more information, visit weather.gov.
And still ahead, Macomb County held its annual business awards, and a few businesses right here in Shelby Township received nominations. One employment agency has tips on how you can perfect your resume and land the job. And Girl Scout cookie season is upon us. We'll tell you where you can find the delicious treats.
If you store your guns properly, I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories.
And I won't have to tell my kids. This isn't a drill.
Please.
Please, do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always, lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
Macomb County has changed quite a bit since its inception. One of the big changes happened not too long ago when the governing body became something a little bit different. Macomb County Community College held a panel discussion to look at how these changes were made and who was involved during that critical time.
Macomb County Charter is only the second charter in the history of the state of Michigan for all 83 counties. Significant accomplishment. 26 people are with us here today that served as charter commissioners from all varied backgrounds. We're very, very fortunate in this county to have a government that's responsive, attentive, and very thoughtful and insightful. And it is the work of the people that's being done every day.
I ran because I thought, you know what, we got a great place here to get people to really understand, you know, why do you live here? Why do you make Macomb your home? And there's a tremendous amount of value in this place we call home. Is how do you have people get a sense of pride about it? So the job is to get people to understand that, to market it, and then to, if you will, promote our assets and get people to realize, you know what, there's so much more to offer, and get others to want to invest or want to move here. And so we have seen a lot of that happen in the 7 years, and I've been very fortunate to have been the county executive during that.
Looking at the progress and looking what happened and how the county developed, and the county executive actually taking office and changing certain things with certain departments within the county. One of them taking over the road commission is no longer an autonomous body. We gave that county executive the right to roll that into a department, which he did, and I think it runs more efficiently. I think with this new form of government, I think the county executive has some key people in place as directors of the departments. I forget today if there's 14 departments. He gives them the autonomy to run their departments and do what they have to do on a day-to-day basis. And then he checks in on where before I think it was more of a cumbersome process. They were at the Board of Commissioners constantly looking for every little thing. Where I think now they can run their departments, they're given a budget, they stay within the budget. And if they go outside the budget, obviously then they have to go back before the Board of Commissioners. But I just think it gives them the autonomy to run their departments and do a good job. He has some great people in place.
I think about Shelby, you think about Utica, Sterling Heights, each one of them are distinct municipalities, and there are 27 in Macomb County, and that's really what Macomb County is. It's 27 distinct, unique municipalities, and what you try to do is help, with their various issues from a county level. What is it that we can do to provide services to assist them, but also to help them promote themselves and get people to realize the value within each one of those communities. As I mentioned, Shelby, you look at it, the quality of life for people that live in Shelby Township, the access to parks and recreation, educational institutions that are there, it's really a great place to live.
Once a year, hundreds of Macomb County business leaders get the chance to be in one room together. The annual Macomb County Business Awards allow this to happen, and the businesses which make up Macomb County are honored during the morning presentation. Various businesses were nominated, and a panel of judges selected the winners. In total, 35 nominations were received. The 5 categories which the winners are selected from include Champion of Workforce Development, Corporate Citizen, Diversification Leader, Model of One Macomb, and Startup Business to Watch. Among the categories, some companies located right here in Shelby Township received nominations. Although he wasn't a winner at the Business Awards this year, Shelby Township business owner and resident Michael Ward was nominated for his charitable work and his mission to help others in the community.
Thank you to everybody that helps support the causes that I do. I do it for one very good reason, to give back. I have no political aspirations. I'm not running for office. I'm not looking for an appointment. I just do it because it's the right thing to do.
Congratulations to all the nominees and winners of this year's Business Awards.
Finding a job can be a daunting and frustrating process for people. With some help from a local employment agency, our April Morton explored some tips for landing the perfect job for you.
If you've ever been a job seeker, whether due to losing employment or maybe a first-time job, the process can be challenging. Just filling out a resume can be frustrating. So we went to Manpower Employment Recruitment Center for some useful tips. When searching for employment, this is a sign employees are seeking. But once you've eyed that perfect position, what's the best way to apply for it? Nick Gasarowski of Manpower in Shelby Township can help with the process.
The process is very simple and kind of painless. They can either come to our office and meet with a recruiter face-to-face, no appointment necessary. That's one nice thing about working with an agency. Or go online to see all the opportunities that we have available. Online, they apply for the position, and then they kind of get put into a database with the recruiter that's assigned to that project. What I urge people to do is when they go online and see something, apply to it, but then call the office, and then that way you can get the recruiter's attention right then and there.
Nick also says don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone and apply for a position you may not be qualified for. Some companies are willing to train the right person.
And then we're partnering with companies that are willing to make the investment in an associate to take them to the next level. So it's one of those things where sometimes you have to apply for those aspiring positions, but as long as you're outlining that in your cover letter or your resume of here's where I want to go, here's the direction I'm taking, it's just able to help you stand out.
So you apply for the job and you get a call for an interview. What's next?
The first thing is show up on time and prepared. So many times people don't know where they're going for their interview. They think, oh yeah, it's right over here. I know exactly where it's at. And then they get lost. And then they're calling and going, Nick, I'm supposed to be there in 2 minutes. I can't find the place. It's a problem.
What can also be a problem is attire.
Sweatpants, no matter what kind of job you're working for, it's not proper attire for a job interview. Jeans is kind of pushing it, if you ask me. So make sure you're dressing to, impress and whatnot.
Nick says employers are looking for certain qualities from employees, such as longevity and punctuality. They want you to show up, perform the job well, and want to stay around to grow with that company. The best advice, Nick says,
don't give up and see who you can connect with. Everybody knows somebody. So if you want to go work at, that big company down the road, more than likely start talking to people. Everyone's been in that situation.
For Shelby This Week, I'm April Morton.
Girl Scout cookie season tends to sneak up on us, but right now it's in full throttle. Our Madeline Miller took to the streets to find out the many places around Shelby Township where cookies are being sold.
It's the peak of Girl Scout cookie season, and Girl Scouts are flooding Shelby Township. They're everywhere. Joann Fabrics, Big Lots, Great Lakes Ace, Gander Outdoors, and even Family Video, where I found 2 girls from Troop 70743 selling away.
Thin Mints are doing pretty good today.
Yeah. They say their troop is all over, selling as many cookies as they can and enjoying their time doing it.
I'm just seeing everyone and seeing who's going to buy cookies, who's not. It's just fun to see.
Samantha says the new s'mores flavor is good, but tagalongs remain her favorite for one simple reason.
I'm just a big fan of peanut butter.
After all that talk about cookies, I even had to buy some for myself. Troop 70743, along with the rest of the southeastern Michigan troops, will be out selling cookies until the end of April.
So girls, what do you have to say?
Come get Girl Scout cookies!
There you have it. Madeline Miller, Shelby This Week.
You can head to girlscouts.org to find the locations and times Girl Scouts will be selling near you.
One Shelby Township ice cream parlor is creating smiles on the faces of their customers with a fitting ice cream flavor for the season. They are also offering a deal motorists will enjoy.
Michigan Pothole. It is a chocolate ice cream with chocolate fudge and chocolate chunks swirled through it. Ashby's Ice Cream came out with it in 2015.
And since 2015, the flavor has hit home with customers. It was even Flavor of the Month last month to go along with what we are seeing out on the roads.
Everybody comes in here and they just laugh how, the name is so appropriate to what we're going through right now. My own son just had a recent issue with a pothole himself, so we kind of all get that, what's going on around the state right now. But yeah, it's a very fun ice cream. It's the most popular flavor that we have here in the store. Everybody loves chocolate, and this is a triple effect of the chocolate addiction that you have. And then we even take it to the next level. We will make milkshakes with it out of chocolate milk, so it just gives it that really deep chocolate flavor.
Ashby's is even offering something to drivers who have experienced damage to their cars from the potholes.
If anybody does come in that has had a receipt with an issue with a pothole, I'll be more than happy to give them a free scoop of Michigan Pothole to help take that little hurt away from them.
For Shelby This Week, I'm Courtney Bennett.
Easter will be here before we know it, which means Shelby Township is preparing for all of their egg-themed events, including the very popular Easter Egg Scramble. The annual event will be held on Saturday, March 24th at Riverbends Park. Any child aged 3 to 10 years old is invited to participate and hunt for the eggs. There is a change this year. Every child has to be registered. The event is free for all Shelby Township and Utica residents. All non-residents will be asked to pay $10 to participate. The event will be outdoors, rain or shine. To register, you can contact 586-731-0300.
Coming up next on Shelby This Week, we talk to one local doctor on how important it is to keep your feet healthy. And 2 Macomb County organizations took to the ice, all for a great cause. Stay with us because we have much more still ahead.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
One of the last things we often think about when caring for our body is our feet. But as One Foot Doctor explains, they're actually essential for keeping our whole body healthy. Here's our Robert Gimbrell with more.
When you go to the doctors and get your physical checkup, and the doctor says you're all good, but are you really? There's one part of your body that the doctors don't check. It's your feet.
A lot of conditions that we see that, like people with diabetes, as people get into advanced stage, they get vascular issues, problems with their circulation in their feet.
Dr. Anthony Giordano has been a podiatrist at Shelby Foot and Ankle for 14 years. And he says that corns and bunions sometimes cannot be avoidable.
Those issues come from foot type, so the kind of the foot that you're born with, the shape of your foot that you're given from your parents.
If you are an active individual, finding the right shoe gear should be your #1 priority.
The most supportive shoe gear is important. Tennis shoes for people that are being very active. We see a lot of problems come from women that wear fashionable type shoes with a very narrow toe box. So shoes are very important. Casual shoes are okay. You just want to make sure they're proper fitting.
If you don't take care of your feet, guess what? You will catch some type of disease.
The most common fungal issue is fungus of the toenails.
Now, if you catch some type of fungus in your toenail, just know that there is a cure.
In a younger patient, if that condition comes up, there are medications that we can offer, oral medications, and some medications that are topical that can be painted on the toenails.
Giordano wants to inform you that you should always take care of your feet. And if there's an issue, get it checked out right away. I'm Robert Gambrell, Shelby This Week.
Families Against Narcotics and Hope Not Handcuffs joined forces on the ice in an event called Skate for Sobriety. All the proceeds for the event went towards Hope Not Handcuffs, an organization started last year with a mission to bring law enforcement and community organizations together to find treatment options for people with drug and alcohol addictions.
Anybody that can go to any one of our 33 police stations. We had all 33 in Macomb County jump on board with us. They can walk in and say they're here for Hope Not Handcuffs. The police officer will call myself, and then I will dispatch one of our 250 volunteer angels. We can continue to raise awareness of what's going on to help all these people that are out. They're out on the streets that need our help to get placed in rehab facilities for detox and inpatient services. And then we hope to continue their care with sober living houses.
Several police departments all across the county participate in this movement, including ours right here in Shelby Township. The two teams that faced off were officers representing Hope Not Handcuffs, and the other team featured players who are in recovery and Families Against Narcotics board members.
We can continue to raise awareness of what's going on to help all these people that are out. They're out on the streets that need our help to get placed in rehab facilities for detox and inpatient services. And then we hope to continue their care with sober living houses.
Since February 1st of 2017, 963 people have benefited from this initiative.
We have all different kind of ways that they can contribute. We have police bins that are at each station that anybody can donate what we call comfort items, which is candies. We have feminine hygiene products, shampoos, we have t-shirts, we have blankets, we have gloves, we have granola bars, we have all kinds of things because sometimes they are walking off the street into that police station. So we want to be able to help them with any type of clothing that we possibly can.
If you are interested in learning more information about both organizations, visit familiesagainstnarcotics.org.
Well, that's all we have for this edition of Shelby This Week. Remember, you can catch us all the time online or on Facebook. Just search Shelby TV.
We will leave you now with scenes from the Burgess Shadbush Nature Center's event, where they featured exotic animals. Enjoy, and thanks for watching.